On this week's episode, we talk about the long-awaited Top Gun Maverick.
In other pop culture news.
After like 2 years of seeing this trailer almost every week, we finally got to see Top Gun Maverick tonight. It was totally worth waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So
good. Sorry.
Let's...
Where do we start? So.
Well, first, are we going to spoil it? I don't think we should spoil it.
Yeah.
Or should we?
I mean, I guess we could. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Okay. So maybe go see it before you look. Oh, so beautiful. Of course, starring Tom Cruise. Pretty much Tom Cruise. And some other people. Jennifer Connelly returns. Val Kilmer makes...
What do you mean Jennifer Connelly returns?
She's in the first one, right?
No.
Wasn't she?
No. She was probably 5 years old.
No.
Yeah, no, she's not in the first one.
Well, who am I thinking of?
Val Kilmer.
Okay, well, no, I'm not confusing Val Kilmer and Jennifer Connelly. I'm not that bad. Okay, for some...
yeah, no, when we saw the trailers...
Yeah, no.
I was confused. Who was her,
Okay.
if it was a recast. And...
Yeah, I just spectacularly replaced her in the first one. Okay. Let me just start over. It stars Tom Cruise, and mostly this is very focused on his character and his character's development and the issues that he's going through. We have John Hamm as an admiral.
Sorry.
Who he kind of butts heads with. Ed Harris makes a brief appearance.
Yeah, she's not in the
Who
first
else?
one.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking about her being in the first one. Anyway, well, she's in this one as a love interest. And yeah, Val Kilmer actually comes back. And what's special about this is that Val Kilmer has actually dealt with... I don't remember all the details of his health conditions, but it's almost impossible for him to speak at this point. He has not been well. And so for him to make an appearance... and not only to make an appearance, but actually he did have lines, and they were able to work in his health condition, everything into the story. So it all made sense, and it was really beautiful and emotional, that whole interaction.
So his disease is a real thing?
Yeah.
And it causes that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think he might have had a bigger role if he was able to speak. But yeah. So in this, I don't know, where do we want to like?
Well, you said spoiler alert, so it's
Yeah.
spoiling. But let's not. But this story is pretty simple.
Yeah.
So the Americans, the American Navy, finds out about this threat of a nuclear facility, gigantic nuclear facility underground somewhere and that's one of my beefs with the movie. It's not clear what country or organization or where is this place and who are these people. North Korea, China, Russia, Cuba, of course not Cuba.
Yeah, not Cuba. It could be almost anyone. We never see faces of the enemy. We never even see like script or labeling, even though we get kind of up close with that. It's always kind of blurry and indistinct, so they're very deliberately vague about that. I wonder if maybe it was just to keep markets open.
Sure.
You know,
that's yeah. If it's for that, that's a good idea.
Either way, it didn't bother me too much, but yeah.
But the
there's
problem
a
is
faceless enemy.
These guys have high-tech planes, high-tech jets,
like on par with
fifth generation. And for me, and you heard that it was on par. I heard it was like superior.
Yeah.
And because if we have those jets, why you don't use them?
Well, they did. Their jets were like our jets.
Our F-18s.
Yeah.
The way they said that they are superior to the F-18, and that's the thing.
Okay, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah,
Let us know what you
because
get.
there's this whole thing about they go. So there's this facility with nuclear weapons, nuclear facility. It is underground, deep underground,
Right.
but it's surrounded by mountains.
And it's only accessible via a narrow, winding canyon that's lined with surface-to-air missiles on both sides. And then when you get to the facility, there's only like a tiny vulnerable spot, about 3 meters wide. And the only way to get into it is to like go down and then pull straight back up a steep mountain face. Otherwise, you crash and die. So you have to do all that, and basically it's the trench run from episode 4.
Yeah, and then finally the Death Star exhaustion. Yeah. Anyways, so they have to do all that because they have scramblers, scramblers. So the bombers, they cannot use like super bombers to go there because their scans, their systems would be scrambled. Yeah. Besides the missiles. But anyways, so
the only way to take this out is with fighters going in, flying very low. So they have to bring in Maverick to teach some Top Gun graduates. So he's not going back to Top Gun. They're not like newbies or anything. They're all Top Gun grads, and they're training very specifically for this one mission.
Yeah. So there's that. So they bring Tom Cruise characters, Maverick, Peter Mitchell, and Maverick back to teach these kids. In the end, it turns out that he joins the team. He leads the team because he's the best, and he's probably the one that can do it. But he teaches the students really well that they can do it. And there's a drama between him and Rooster, the son of Goose, that died on the first movie. And Maverick still blame himself. So is the kid. But also there's the fact that when the wife of Goose died, she made Pete Maverick promise that he would not let her kid fly or would protect him. And so for that, he gets his papers out of a school or out of the academy, and the kid finds out, and that's the grudge is multiplied.
So we have there's several fronts, like several struggles that Maverick is dealing with. First, we see his struggles with kind of military politics. He is true to his call sign. He's a Maverick, and he's still a captain, even though all of his peers are like admirals and all that. And he keeps getting, like, he's on the verge of getting kicked out, and the only reason he's still flying is that Iceman, Val Kilmer, keeps sticking up for him.
And Iceman became an admiral. There's a leader of the Pacific Fleet.
Yeah. So there's that side, his struggles with the military and like all the politics within that. His relationship with Jennifer Connelly shows us he's had trouble having any kind of long-term relationship or family or anything else, and so we see things develop there. But then also his relationship with the kids that he's training is, I think, where we see the most. He not only blames himself for Goose's death, but he's still carrying this huge, like, all kinds of emotional baggage because of the deaths of other people that he's seen, other friends and comrades in arms that he's dealt with over the years. He's got all this combat experience, and he can't bear the thought of sending these kids to die. And I think that's a big reason he signs on as team leader. Like, he can't send them to die if he's not going to go and lead them and do everything he can to keep them safe.
Cyclone assigns him as team leader.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's part of why he does it, and part of why they get to that decision.
I mean, he does it because when they called him, they invited him to go back to Top Gun to teach.
They're called orders.
When they called him back, he said, "Okay, I can do it," and said, "No, you're not gonna do it.
That's right.
You're gonna teach." Anyways, the movie is full of action. It's really well done. Tom Cruise, I know there's people that don't like Tom Cruise, but he is probably the last big movie star. You know, he brought the movie theater was packed, and it was an early screening. It was like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, on a Thursday, and it was not only packed. It had like MCU energy. Like people were cheering, crying.
Finally,
it was it was intense.
And finally, it has double meaning. Finally, because you had 2/8 since they announced the first trailer.
Yeah.
But also because since the original Top Gun has been, you know how long?
It's what, like 30 years?
Sure.
25 years?
Yeah. Anyways, so the biggest, if not the last movie star. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to say movie star, like this, well, everybody knows he does all of his own stunts.
Yeah.
And as unlikable as he might be, like in person or like outside of his profession.
In a way, he's unlikable. I don't get that.
He's just kind of crazy, and like the whole Scientology thing, and I don't know. He's just heard weird stories.
I'm not judging his religion, right? Forget about that. What else? Because he went to Oprah and started jumping in what the rooster does? What the rooster does?
Crowing.
And crowing like a rooster.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly like consciously just avoid. Like I don't want to know. Also, how his ex-wife seems so happy and relieved to not be married to him anymore.
Which one?
Both of them.
Whoa.
Katie Holmes and Nicole Kidman. Like these aren't.
But they look happy and when they were with him too.
Yeah, but they look really happy when they weren't. I'm just saying, like he, for whatever issues people have with his private life, the man is a genius on screen, and his dedication and his obsession and his love of the craft really comes through. It was a phenomenal film, and it was made, something I really loved, especially in like there's two kind of opening sequences. He also shows a lot of the other guys, like all the people behind the scenes who make these planes happen and make, because like the fighter pilots, they're like the stars of the movie, but also like any military stuff, they're like, yeah, I'm all that. But they did a really great job of showing all the tech, all the crew, everybody on the ground who really makes that happen. And also an incredible job of showing the skill and the risk and everything else that it takes to fly these planes. It's not just cool action sequences. You see how intense and how difficult, how physically and mentally demanding it is. So I feel like, I feel like if I was in the military, I would feel really good about how I was portrayed and all of that.
Yeah,
it was just really great stuff.
The initial sequence of the movie, it's basically, I cannot say exactly the same, but it looks a lot like the original sequence for the original movie.
Yeah.
And the whole showing is something that comes from the original movie, showing the landing and taking off crews, taking care of everything, bringing the plane, making sure everything is safe.
Aircraft carrier. Like, do you understand how insanely dangerous that is? They have to land on an aircraft carrier. They have to slow down enough to land, but because they're going so slow, if they don't like catch that hook and land properly, they don't always have enough like thrust and velocity to take off again if they miss. So they risk, like, it's potentially deadly every single time.
Yeah.
It's, oh man, just amazing.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
What else?
The music. I loved the way they incorporated a lot of the original songs and original theme music into it.
But then at the end they put Lady Gaga, and I was like, okay, sure, fine.
I was still so caught up in it, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, I knew before, and I was wondering what. I mean, at least it was by the end when the movie is like actually over.
Yeah,
it's like the music for the credits.
Yeah. There are a lot of, I don't know why movies do that so often. They put this jarring song in the credits.
But
it like shakes you out of that anyway.
But no, it was really intense. It was really fun. Everybody loved it. And it was really well edited. It was the effects were really cool. They used a lot of practicals.
A lot. Including, as I recall, a lot of the scenes we have in the cockpit, the actors are actually flying
Yeah.
in jets. There's this really cool jet.
They're not alone, but yeah.
Yeah. There's a separate cockpit for the pilot and then like a dummy cockpit for the actors. So they are going through, I doubt as heavy G's as they portray in the film, but like they're going through it and they're experiencing it. So yeah, a lot of practical effects, which totally pays off.
One thing about Tom Cruise, I like the guy in comic book fans that like him. Mentioned several times before that he would be a really cool Hal Jordan as the Green Lantern, you know.
Oh.
And he could be the perfect balance between you know, the man without fear that Jordan is, but also, you know, funny and, you know, woman's man. No, what's the
Ladies man.
Ladies man.
Yeah.
You know, in the original sequence, not the original, the beginning sequence of this movie, he's basically Hal Jordan. He's a test pilot. He's testing this super plane, and he does like no one has done before, and he
pushes everybody's buttons.
Yeah, to a point that he is like, geez, it's like if anyone is seeing that, come on, you know. Yeah, but he was shortlisted to be Iron Man originally, and it didn't happen. Fans were hoping to see him as Iron Man on the Multiverse of Madness.
That could have been cool.
It turned out to be a hoax. They put the Illuminati was like very, very not that bright, you know, because Illuminati, you know, get it? Anyways, but the movie was fun, was intense, and he does it. I'm gonna make a lot of money. And
yeah, and it deserves every bit of it. Highly recommend this film. It's exciting. It's incredibly emotional.
Clean. Very clean.
Yeah, there is like the one F-bomb, and like there's like a scene and you're like, oh, here comes the sex scene. Nope, it's just really wholesome and lovely. Yeah. So.
But her character is part of his universe, but is off screen. She's not in the first movie. They talk about she owns the bar, so she bought the bar 3 years ago. So they had a past together, but it's not Karen McGillis from the original one.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure one of the things that I don't know, timing movies is very different. But one of the things that I noticed, even in the trailers, is like, isn't she like way too young for him? But maybe not, because she's been around, you know. She worked with what's the bucket, the singer David Bowie, like 700 years ago. So
not too far from when the first Top Gun was made.
Yeah.
And she was a teenager.
So.
But that's pretty common though for in Hollywood casting, and which is why I don't understand people making a big deal about the Jurassic Park casting. That it's so common.
It wasn't her. It was nobody. I mean, that was the weird thing. We're gonna get to that.
No, other people were talking about it before her.
Before her?
Yeah. Which is why she said something. Like I don't get it. Like it's so common. It's been this way for like as long as we've had Hollywood. For leading men to be older and leading ladies to be younger, but for them to be portrayed as the same age. It happens all the time. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying like let's not be surprised by this.
Yeah.
It's super annoying, but yeah. So she's probably younger than him, but that's
I don't
what
know.
Hollywood
it's
does.
Not like this kid I just saw on Instagram. He's 19 and he's marrying a 77-year-old.
Well, that's a decision.
Anyways, Top Gun Maverick is available everywhere in the theaters. It's fun. It's intense.
So good.
It's it definitely worthy of the original, and it starts like the original and ends like the original. You know, it's about man with goals, and they achieve it. And yeah, you should go see it.
Yep. All right, what else did we watch this week?
Sticking around with Tom Cruise, we saw the trailer for the new Mission Impossible, and that looks good.
It does. Oh my gosh, there's a spectacular stunt where it's actually straight out of Singing in the Rain. We see this stunt in Singing in the Rain where he drives a motorcycle right off a cliff.
Singing in the Rain?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, in the opening sequence, he's talking about his previous career as a stuntman. He does the stunt. But this is Tom Cruise doing it, so we know that he actually... Anyway, just insane. So, cool stunts, a bajillion exotic, beautiful locations, all of his team, and yeah, it looks great. So, if you were worried about not seeing a Tom Cruise trailer in the theaters anymore, don't worry. Mission Impossible is back.
Yeah, that Reckoning, and this part 1 is going to split in 2, which I think is very interesting. The possibilities and the potential is big because
it is.
It's not every day that you see a movie that is split in part 2 on purpose, and might end in a cliffhanger.
That's what I'm hoping for, like a huge, devastating cliffhanger.
Yeah, and
that would be great.
Intense. Everybody's back. Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Rebecca Ferguson. I can't remember the name of the other girl.
But there's a bunch of people.
Haley Atwell is on this one too. And Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. I am of the opinion that every year we should have either a James Bond movie, and if that year we have a James Bond movie, next year we have a Mission Impossible movie, and
alternate them.
Yeah,
that would be fair.
It's only fair, and since we have Fast and Furious movies all the time. It's still about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He went to Cannes to premiere Top Gun Maverick, and someone interviewed him about, reporters, they ask everything. Sometimes good questions, sometimes stupid questions. But this guy asked one in the middle, and it was, why or how? Why do you do your own stunts? I think that was the question. And he's like, why not? Would you ask that question to Gene Kelly? Would he not do his dance moves? It's my craft, it's my work, and he does his own stunts.
He does, and so there's that, which again just points to his dedication to the craft. But he genuinely loves movies. It really shows in his work. But he loves it to the point that he sneaks into the theaters, like kind of incognito, like MCU baseball cap, sunglasses, hoodie, and all that, just to go watch movies in the theater.
Pretty much every movie.
Yeah.
New movie. Oh, I want to see that. And he goes to see it.
Yeah, and that is something that I like about him. That he really loves what he's doing, and he's
big producer. He producing the new Mission Impossible movies, the new 2. There was the whole COVID, and he had to fight for it because to protect people and protect the business and his investment and people's jobs.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And he was very explicit about that. He wasn't doing it for himself or for the franchise or anything. He wanted to make sure that these like cameramen and gaffers and editors, like all these people, were still able to have a job in a time when it was just looking really bad for the film industry. Yeah. So good for him.
Yeah, but we also saw other things this week. We saw this movie called The Valet with Eugenio Derbez and Samara Weaving on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, and it was fun.
It was adorable. We've seen Eugenio Derbez in a few things. We're watching Acapulco right now, and I've liked him. I've liked him a lot in everything. He seems to kind of play kind of the same kind of guy, like stable, reasonable, charming, funny.
There's not a lot of acting. It's more like he picks the roles that work around his. I mean, there's acting, but there's no method. The script works around him, and he work more than he works around the script.
Yeah, but I really like it. It's very I guess you say if you see his face on something, you can count on something very nice and pleasant and wholesome, and that's what this story was. He plays a valet. Samara Weaving is a hotshot movie star, and through a series of kerfuffles, she needs him to pretend to be her boyfriend for a little while. And through that relationship, he ends up getting some badly needed, like, confidence and support. And she gets, like, friendship and family and, like, real true friendship and family that she's been missing.
You might think it's very similar to another movie where a Latina falls in love or create a fake relationship with a white
dude.
person, a superstar and a regular human. The movie with Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. But this is very different. Yes.
Yeah.
This is very different, and a very different situation. There's no romance. They become really close, but he's much older. He could be her father, as he said some in the movie. But she needs a friend, at least, and he becomes that friend, and with him becomes family. And there's a lot of Spanish in the movie. He plays for his audience, and he does it really well. There's like the family dynamics, the Latino Spanish family dynamics in the movie that a lot of people might recognize. It might work really well for his audiences, and it's fun. It's nice and cute, and you should watch it.
Yeah, I thought it was very pleasant and heartwarming and all those things, which as fun and as important as these other shows are that explore like the darker sides of humanity or like the action and all that stuff, it's also really nice to have these things that kind of recenter on things that really matter and give us a break from some of the stress and all that other stuff in the world.
It is diverse as supernaturally as proper as it should be. It doesn't try to preach. The movie is in California, even though it was shot in Atlanta, but the story takes place in Los Angeles. So there's Latino, Spanish, there's Koreans, there's the white people, and all that together. That doesn't feel forced or preached like a lot of movies these days do.
Yeah.
And everybody would enjoy it because it's funny, it's interesting, it has heart. It's all
very funny.
Yeah.
Lots of good comedy. Speaking of comedy,
The Valet, it's available on Hulu.
Yes. Going over to Netflix, a streaming service notorious for their comedy specials. There was a really fantastic one out that is absolutely not family appropriate.
Oh no.
Not safe for work.
No.
So just don't even.
I mean, what kind of work people watch comedy specials?
Don't know, but like the whole not safe for work, NSFW has become a nice shorthand for like, don't watch this around people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Or watch this around chosen people.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it might trigger people from all levels.
Oh, it will trigger.
Yeah, all over the chart. Because he doesn't have restraints.
He doesn't. It's Ricky Gervais.
Supernature.
Yes.
It's funny.
Special.
There's some really, really, really funny moments. It's caused controversy because of a couple of jokes he makes. It's jokes. And
almost every
he
joke.
Makes clear.
If he's not like poking at like transgenderism, he's like, let's have a laugh about pedophilia.
Yeah.
And so like he definitely.
And abortion. And he talks about everything.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's really well written, and he writes his own material. It's on Netflix, and it's causing controversy. And even people like claim and asked to be taken down, as people do. A few people, not the majority, to be clear. But Netflix said no. It's we made it, we paid it, we made it. You watch it if you like it. If you don't watch, if you don't want it, if you don't like it, if you don't want it, don't watch it.
And I will say this, he does say very controversial things, and I think he does it on purpose. And he makes this point several times throughout the special. That's kind of his job as a comedian. And I think this kind of satire and the way he's poking fun at all these things is, besides being wildly entertaining, is also really thought-provoking. And I think that kind of comedy has a place in our society. It maybe doesn't have to be quite as vulgar or crass as he could be. It has, I think it does have a place.
No, and it's a good thing because someone has to keep comedy alive. Because if every time people say, "Oh, you can make joke about this, you can make joke about this, you can make joke about this," soon enough you're not gonna have comedies. You're gonna be watching dramas, and those dramas being nominated for comedy in the Golden Globes, like they already are.
Yeah.
Anyways,
anything else? Supernature on
Netflix. Ricky Gervais.
Grown-up show, totally worth it.
Yeah.
I have not laughed that hard in years.
Yeah,
probably.
that was good. Yeah.
Like, I physically hurt from laughing so much. Okay, we saw some cool trailers.
Yeah, we even mentioned the Mission Impossible one. But we also saw Andor.
Yeah.
The moon. No. Andor.
Yes. Andor.
And it's very interesting because I think sorry. I think if anything, it succeeds, and this is just a trailer. It succeeds where Solo failed. I mean, Solo failed in many aspects, but it shows society, intergalactic society, having to deal with this empire threat.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a threat anymore. It's the empire dominion. And it feels like they're gonna go through like a origin story, what motivates Andor, what make him leave his farm or his family or his job to go fight for the rebellion.
And this is stuff he kind of hinted to or alluded to in Rogue One, where we meet the character. It's kind of clear, like, he is not here for happy reasons. And there is like a whole past that led him
he's willing
to do what he
kill.
does.
He's willing to do the dark deeds to the cause.
That's right. He's not doing the happy fun, like, lead the charge type work for the rebellion. He's doing the dirty work.
Yeah, it's hope.
And he's committed to it because for reasons that I guess that we'll see in this series.
Yeah.
It also looks like
as he says in the movie, it's hope, but it's only the spark. For him, is like, it's like for Luke has tragedy too.
He does.
I guess tragedy is a constant, because there's tragedy for Leia too, right in the beginning.
That's true, but she was already on the path.
Yeah.
Before
tragedy
Alderaan was destroyed.
Anyways.
But yeah, I know, especially, the tragedy is a great thing to sort of start somebody on a journey.
Yeah.
But this looks interesting. I also suspect we're going to get into a lot of politics.
Yeah, we see Mon Mothma, we see the Senate.
Yeah. So it looks like it's going to be a good expansion. Like, some still dealing with the rebellion, especially the early days of the rebellion, but aspects of it we haven't seen before. So, and also seeing what you were saying, the domination of the empire, which looks good. Let's see. There was a trailer for Willow. It looks so cool. I have not seen...
You've never seen Willow?
I've never seen Willow.
Wow.
Why? I don't know. I don't have a good reason for it. I want to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's a character flaw. It's not true to who I am. So I can't speak to any sort of, like, anything to do with the original, but this trailer looks cool,
yeah.
And I look forward to
much bigger cast,
fantasy
much
stuff.
bigger cast in the journey, has Lord of the Ring vibes. We've the whole fantastical. It looks cool.
Lots of great fantasy
coming
stuff.
in November to Disney Plus.
Nice. Okay, The Gray Man.
New Netflix movie starring Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Bilbo Thornton, Wagner Moura, and many more.
Yes, a list of people. From the trailer, we see that what I had thought was impossible is in fact possible. They can make Chris Evans look gross looking.
Yeah, the mustache
it is not a good look for him.
Unforgivable, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's deliberate. It's kind of the point. fun action movie. A lot of assassins trying to kill each other was like the vibe that I got.
From the minds of Russo Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And Russo Brothers already started a franchise on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth, The Extraction.
Yeah.
The second one is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
And this might create another one. It looks really good. It looks intense.
Yeah. Yeah, good action movie. We also saw a trailer for a new film from George Miller called 3,000 Years of Longing.
Yeah, it's a very interesting take on genie in a bottle and wishes with Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba as the genie. And yeah, it's visually intense, very interesting, and you know, George Miller is a big one.
Yeah, so this looks like it's going to be an interesting film. I mean, it's Tilda Swinton. She does weird stuff. But this looks like very good weird. All right, what's been canceled?
Cancellations. You're going to have to remind me that.
Okay. We've got a list. Okay. Well, first something's been renewed. It should be renewals and cancellations. Whatever. ABC's renewed The Connors.
Okay.
A Million Little Things.
Okay.
And Wonder Years. Big Sky. And Home Economics.
Okay.
So those survived the cut. CBS picked up True Lies.
Based on the movie, James Cameron movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
And it's probably the best Cameron movie, you know, because everything else he copied from somewhere. But fun fact, True Lies is actually based on an Australian show, so it's kind of a copy too. But it's still his top. He might not say it's his top. He might say it's Avatar and Titanic. But it's definitely, if I could say James Cameron, it would be that, and maybe Terminator. But again, Terminator is an X-Men comic book, anyways. Nothing got to that.
It's okay to be inspired by things. Just own it.
Oh no, but he said he owns it. He said it's like it came from his mind. He's that creative. It's like that's his problem. It's like, I'm a king of the world. He doesn't admit of inspiration and homages. He says like, nope, it's mine. I created. Like there was nobody before him.
Tisk tisk. Fox has canceled Pivoting and Our Kind of People.
Okay.
I could tell you nothing about those shows, so oh no, what a loss. ABC has picked up a new comedy with Gina Rodriguez called Not Dead Yet. We also have a Rookie spin-off series and a Hilary Swank show called Alaska.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
It takes place in Detroit?
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Did I miss something?
I hope it takes place in Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska's a cool place.
I mean, because it's on the name.
Yeah. Call Me Kat and Welcome to Flash have both been renewed. Call Me Kat is better than I thought it would be. Welcome to Flash is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, all right. Fox has also renewed 911 Lone Star. 911 and The Resident are still in negotiations. Next.
What's on the negotiations?
The Resident and just straight up 911.
Didn't I put that The Resident wasn't it?
You have The Resident is in negotiations. What? 911 and The Resident still in negotiations.
Okay. It ends there?
Nope. Oh, there's more. There are more cancellations.
Okay. Because the negotiations were over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Samuel L. Jackson arriving in episode 2. The negotiations are over.
Man, what a guy.
I don't know if I put it there, but Samuel L. Jackson is going to be the Garfield father in the new Garfield animation, or where Chris Pratt's going to be Garfield.
Okay, NBC is going to have a Quantum Leap reboot, and The Blacklist will be returning mid-season. Hulu has scrapped plans for a Hillary Clinton alternate history series, which everyone was dying for.
Yeah, it shows her younger as a Homeland. What's a bucket? Claire Dennis, and younger blonde Fanning, Ellie Fanning. But hey, nobody wants to see that. They're still gonna shop. They're gonna try to do other places.
Okay.
But yeah.
We can close that chapter of our nation's history. Riverdale is also ending.
Which actually will be fiction. on that version,
Yes.
there will be no suicides, no tapes, no, she would not hire Russians. No, but I mean, maybe, but also it would be.
Wonder if she wouldn't marry Bill because they're calling it Rodham.
Yes, yeah, it's about that alternate history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the details, but it's something about if she doesn't marry. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Let's all move on. Riverdale is ending season 7 in the spring of a year, which we didn't type out fully.
Yeah.
So.
Next.
Okay. No, that's it. That's the
No,
whole
me
list.
next year.
Oh, next year. Okay. All right. Let's talk about some of the dark and sad and gross things happening in the world, and then we can move on to happy stuff.
Oh, yeah. But that's actually, I put it there because I thought it was hilarious.
Did you?
Yeah. It's like, really.
These are not funny things.
I mean, it's the woman's avatar being sexually assaulted. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Why is that funny?
It's in a virtual world. It's like in a video game. You know? Someone comes and do something inappropriate. I
But
think
it's like a woman's avatar. So, like, they're doing it to somebody else's... It's not like an NPC.
I know.
Dumb.
I know. It is. I don't know. I thought it was ridiculous. You know.
That women can't even pretend to exist somewhere
no,
without
I'm
men
not
being
saying.
gross.
I'm not saying that because a woman avatar could be a man. You know, on video games and
I
virtual reality. It's. I just thought it was like. The the flawed and despicable of human mind is like really. I thought it was just ridiculously and funny.
It's
because it's just bad.
disheartening.
It's really bad, not especially like in real life. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And to go do that, and it's like I don't know if it was a joke or if the person was bad or both. Either way, yeah. Anyways,
it's annoying.
what we're talking about. So can you explain?
Huh? Oh, right. I guess we didn't explain that very well. So Mark Zuckerberg's whole metaverse platforms where people can have avatars and can do all kinds of things using
It's
AI.
like Second Life, right?
They are, yeah. So yeah, their female avatars are being sexually assaulted, and verbally and otherwise. One was led into a room with two. Anyway, we don't need to get into the details of it.
Yeah.
Basically, in the metaverse, just like in the real world, there are gross men who do things to women because I don't.
A woman too. Let's be inclusive. Because there could be woman, right?
It could be, but yes, let's be inclusive, but also let's be real. How often do women sexually assault other women or sexually harass other women? It's not that often.
I wouldn't know.
Usually men. Anyway. Speaking of men being gross, a member of the Academy was found guilty of 3 counts of child molestation.
Academy didn't say anything, just...
Yeah. But let's kick out Will Smith because he punched a guy that one time.
Yeah.
Not that was okay, but good grief. And Kevin Spacey, this is actually, it's sad, but I was also really happy about this. Kevin Spacey was actually charged in the UK with 4 counts of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Sad that it happened, but oh so beautiful that he's being held accountable for it. And I would like to see more of this.
We'll hope he will, because he was...
That's true. He's been charged. It doesn't mean he's been tried or sentenced or anything else, but at the very least, something official has happened. And then, that's basically that. Okay. Amber Heard, they actually almost recast her in Aquaman 2 just because they didn't like her chemistry with...
Yeah, not about the whole mess, not about the case, because,
Yeah. My favorite meme about that is suggesting that she be replaced with King Shark. I'm not totally opposed. Okay, we had some leaks from the set of Blue Beetle.
Yeah, and it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jason Sudeikis was announced to be in a movie, Us, Tech Horde, the original Blue Beetle.
So.
Also not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
But talking about bad casting, they just announced, Leslie Jones was the voice of the Plastic Man.
I think it's Plastic Man.
Which I was telling you the other day. Sandberg was born to be Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Which
I didn't even think of, but then he said that, and now I'm mad.
But you know, Hollywood casting is an issue. It was always an issue, and we were watching this show called The Offer, about the making of The Godfather, and you know, even for The Godfather, they had to make some concessions and had to fight to get what they wanted, and some people can't, and that's why we see some terrible casting, because usually or most of the time, the man in charge, and I'm not talking about director and producers, I'm talking about the man in charge of the business.
Oh, like studio execs.
Idiots. Suits, idiots. Moving on. Ben
Affleck received a $30 million
That's
offer.
a rumor. It's not official, but there's a rumor that, he might be offered $30 million payday to come back as Batman, and giving hope for the Snyderverse return restoration, because he's the Snyderverse Batman.
Yep. Okay, shakeups at SNL.
Everybody is leaving but Keenan. No
Basically.
news. He's still there.
Yeah.
But
he's a fixture.
Andy Bryant, Katie McKinnon, Pete Davidson, Kyle Mooney. They left after the season finale last week.
Yeah.
We know.
Very emotional.
We know
They've been on for a long time.
They all have been in movies and TV shows, so I might still see them out there, but not on Saturdays.
Yep, and not live at night.
From New York.
Okay, Law Abiding Citizen is getting a sequel.
I wonder how it's gonna be, because if you saw the movie, you know the main character dies in a big explosion. I don't know if they're gonna follow the lawyer, but I don't know if it's a prequel or if it's an anthology type of sequel. They're gonna do a similar story. Anyways, we'll see. The first movie was pretty good. You know, when it's good, Hollywood's gonna do 36 times plus 2.
Speaking of movies getting done 36 times plus 2, the Fast
X is an exception, because we don't have enough. We should have one every 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
They tried that with the spin-off with what's his bucket, The Rock and Jason Statham.
Oh yeah, was it
but
Hobbs
they got
and
into
Shaw?
a feud with Vin Diesel, and it's like, oh no, he's coming back.
Lame.
Yeah.
Lame. Well, the Toretto family is growing, and not in the way you usually think. We've just cast an abuela Toretto.
Yeah, Rita Moreno, Anita from the original West Side Story, is back to the screens to be the grandma.
Yep. So yeah, fun times there. Margot Robbie is starring in and producing an Ocean's 11 prequel.
Yeah.
That's right, prequel.
Okay, I don't know where they're going, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, she's fun. Okay, what's this about a Jon Favreau Black series?
Okay, so as some of you know, it's a Star Wars celebration is happening in Anaheim this weekend, these days. And from there, we got the trailer from Andor. We got more news about there's one that we're gonna go through, but there's not a lot to go through. There's a new series, directed, produced by John Watts, the director of Spider-Man trilogy.
That's right.
The late Spider-Man trilogy. And it's going to be called Skeleton Crew with Jude Law. That's all we know. But we're getting a lot of news from the Star Wars celebration. And one of the news is that we're going to get a Black Series, what's it called? Action figure of Paz Vizsla that we know was voiced by Jon Favreau on the episode of Boba Fett.
Okay.
So
I'll just put that
and the
in
Mandalorian. So it has the armor, it has the helmet, but under the helmet is Jon Favreau's face. Which is pretty cool. They did that before with George Lucas. There's a stormtrooper that has his face, And
Interesting.
yeah, Favreau, it got his way quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And frankly cooler. Okay, Bryce Dallas Howard. There are rumors abounding that she could be a Sue Storm to John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic.
There was rumors that she would direct too, but she denied.
Yeah. Which, who knows what that means?
Yeah.
Rumors, denials, it could all be nothing, it could all be something.
Mm.
Who knows? Okay, Go Speed Racer, go!
J.J. Abrams got the deal to make a Speed Racer show for HBO.
Live action, right?
Yeah.
I think it's actually Apple TV.
Is Apple TV?
Yeah.
Okay, Apple TV then. HBO, you lost.
Yeah. This is actually a cartoon I watched a little bit of, and it's fun.
Okay.
There's some fun opportunities. It's got like a car with too few buttons that do too many things. It's kind of fun. Anyways, let's see. Justin Timberlake has sold his music catalog.
$100 million.
Yeah. Poor guy. You got to do what you got to do to make ends meet. $100 million. Okay, Indiana Jones 5 has a release date.
And they posted the first official image. It's not much. It's indie.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's indie in the dark, getting something. Yeah.
Okay, June 2023.
Yeah.
So next
and it has
summer.
a date next summer.
Jodie Foster is going to be leading True Detective season 4.
Yeah, for HBO and HBO Max. The first season of the show was fantastic. Second season was like okay. Third season I didn't see. I still need to see third and when fourth comes. All
right. Dune 2. Denis Villeneuve has cast his Fade Rotha, who's a hugely important character. They've cast Austin Butler. And now this is the guy who's playing Elvis, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seeing him in that trailer as Elvis tells me he's definitely got the Fade Rotha vibe.
Really?
Oh yeah.
This guy sings and dances.
He does not sing and dance, but he just kind of like oozes like physical beauty and sexuality.
Okay.
So I think he's got what it takes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
Obi-Wan.
About the show.
Yeah.
He said that one thing that he said that he's not that Alec has that peaceful Obi-Wan. You know, that sober, quiet, peaceful Obi-Wan. He said he's not that yet.
Yeah.
And I would assume at least not in the beginning of the show. Maybe things will happen that by the end, but of course he didn't give that much details. One other thing he said was, like the original Star Wars, that he wanted to make the lightsaber sounds, and I think actually he did, and they cut. Shut up, Ian.
Yeah.
On this one, he said he couldn't because the John Williams music, and apparently they played during the.
Yeah.
He said even if he would, nobody would hear because the music was intense, loud.
Yeah, but it also helped him resist.
Yeah.
So, good for that. Star Wars is so great because didn't they have similar issues with Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill making like pew 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 noises, or did I just make that up?
I
like
would
bang,
not know.
Bang.
Officially, I would
feel
know.
like I heard that somewhere.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, good stuff. So that Obi-Wan Kenobi it's
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Comes out tomorrow or tonight midnight. Disney probably is gonna release later. I don't think they do midnight.
Which is a bummer. Okay, last but not least, Goodfellas star Ray Liotta has left the building.
Yeah, he died during a shooting of a movie. Shooting the movie in Dominican Republic.
There you go.
And he was a big one. Godfellas and many other big roles. And
so
may he rest in peace, and sentiments to the family. And about sentiments to the family, our sentiments and prayers to the families in Texas that suffer, in Uvalde, Texas, that suffer a great loss of 21 people, 19 kids, and 2 teachers. And so yeah, thoughts and prayers and hope for the best for them. It's a great, it's a terrible loss. One is a infinite loss.
Yeah.
20 plus 20 is like it's big, and yeah, our sentiments to that. Any more things?
I don't think so. It was a big week.
Yeah, so I guess we're done for this week. Next week, I don't know. Is it Jurassic Park next week?
Next week I think is Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers that came out this week, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think Jurassic Park is June 10th.
Which is not next week.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so
We'll see.
Yeah, that's it for this week. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.